All right, we're going to finish looking at solving equations by factoring. So again, go back to the tab that we already started. All right, let me take a look at another shortcut. So example 4, 81x squared plus 90x plus 25 equals 0. So put that equal to 0. I don't do it there, but put it equal to 0. So the shortcut says that if you take the square root of the first term and the last term, then check if half the middle number is your two numbers. Like half your middle number 2 times is your two numbers. As a listening check, put a box around shortcut on this paragraph we just wrote. So let's check. Square root of that, I can take the square root of that. I can take the square root of that as well. If you can take the square root of those, check that half the middle number is your two numbers. So what's half of 90? Well, half of 90 is what? 50 plus 40, which is equal to half of 50 is 25 and half of 40 is 20. So that's going to give me 45. So basically what I'm saying is 45 2 times is going to be your middle number. So you're checking 45, 45. So I'm going to check them. So it says find two numbers that multiply to the first and the last term, multiply together, the product, and add to the middle. So I'm going to check 81 times 25. And again, if you're missing any of this work, this whole notebook is a 0. So I do want to see this work. The listening check, color in this box, this entire box. So that's 2025. And now I'm going to check when I multiply 45 and 45, do I get 2025? Again, missing any of this work is a 0. Right, because I know when I add 45 plus 45, I'm going to get the middle term. So yes, when I multiply those two numbers, I get 25, and when I add those two numbers, I get the middle 90. So I don't even have to go through looking for my whole two terms because they're always going to be half the middle twice. Alright, so draw your 2x2 box, put the first term in the first box, and the last term in your last box. So it's going to be 81x squared, and last one is 25. Then my middle two numbers, 45, with the middle variable, x. Take out the greatest common factor horizontally. So what can I take out? I can take out x for sure, and then what goes into 81 and 45. So again, if you don't know this off the top of your head, because I know it's not 2 or anything of 2, I'm going to check if it's divisible with 3 and 9. So 8 plus 1 is 9, which means 9 and 3 both go into them, you know, from our previous notes, because when you add them up. So I can take out 9. So again, please make sure that you take out the greatest common factor. So go ahead and fill out the rest of the box. And then that times that is that, so that's what, 5. And then check the last box. 5 times 5 is 25. Perfect. So my two factors are going to be what's outside the box. So I'm going to get 9x plus 5 times 9x plus 5 equals 0. And then you set each of those into 0, or you can just write it as 9x plus 5 squared equals 0. So the same thing is going to work. Alright, so if you take the square root of both sides, you're going to get 9x plus 5, and the square root of 0 is still 0. And then move the 5 to the other side, that's going to be negative 5. So you're going to get 9x equals negative 5. Divide both sides by 9, so you're going to get x is equal to negative 5 over 9. Now it doesn't make sense to put the same answer in twice, because then you just sound, you just sound weird. So x equals negative 5 over 9, and that's pretty much it. So really, really important that you remember these shortcuts. It makes it so simple. So let's practice.